Oh, morning folks. Cow day today. I'm up at Moor's on a day walk. Just up Blackstone Edge, near Blackstone Edge Res. Just looking for something in this wall here. I'm just going to show you. Interesting relic this, I think. See that sort of post with a cross in it? I think it's of some age, that, you know. These reses here up Blackstone Edge were built for Rochdale Canal, which were built in about 1806. So this wall, I don't know whether that's from 1806, possibly been rebuilt since, but that stone strikes me as some sort of old guidepost out of something that were found round here and used to, I don't know, to build the wall. And I think it links possibly to an old route, an old road over at Moor's here that I'm going to go on to in a minute, called Toad Lane. Not the Toad Lane in Rochdale, in the town centre. And it's not marked on modern maps, this Toad Lane, it's only on old maps. And if I think on, I'll put that on screen. I've just crossed through what I call the gates of Toad Lane. It's like a gap in the gritstone. I was saying earlier about this Toad Lane. I think the theories are that it's some sort of old drover's route right on the Lancashire-Yorkshire border here, so very important crossing this part of the watershed. Yeah, possibly an old drover's route between the Yorkshire and Lancashire markets. And the name of Toad Lane probably has nothing to do with toads. I've read somewhere that the Toad Lane in Rochdale comes from it being a very old route, so it comes from old. So Thowd Lane, Toad Lane, and it just becomes Toad Lane over time. I think that's as good a theory as any. I've just paused for a minute here at Whitehome Res, just over my shoulder. I'll tell you what, the ice is so thick. I've just picked up some stones and tried to bash it, and it is rock solid. As a kid coming up here, I'd have just been drawn to that. I'd have tried skating on it, stepping on it, messing about on it. Even now, I'm still drawn to frozen bodies of water. You've just got to, like, investigate, haven't you? No wonder accidents happen with kids. Get the gate open. Oh, bloody hell, what's going on with it? I'm just going to make my way down to this little outcrop of rocks down here. There's something of interest, I'll show you if it's not covered with snow. There's letters under here. There's a big carving on this rock. You can see it up there. Look at that big cross. So I'm stopping for a little tea break at this outcrop of rocks. The names that I've tried to show you, there's more than I've shown you, but they're all encrusted with snow and stuff. They're quite a recent thing. They were carved up here I don't know, maybe 20 years ago, by, I'm pretty sure, the last gamekeeper on this moor. This used to be a grouse moor, but in the past few years, thankfully, Yorkshire Water, they didn't renew the lease when the lease was up for renewal. So the moor's, what should we say, it's had work done up here to sort of re-wet the place and stuff. So it's a better moor than it used to be. There's more wildlife up here now. Less grouse because there's less heather, but there's still grouse here. Anyway, back to these carvings. Yeah, the fellow who carved them, he lived near me, he was keeper up here. And I used to know him reasonably well. He used to always stop for a chat when I worked at Holly Lake, when I in my old ranger days and stuff like that. I always see him with his dogs. He had red setters. I think they're his gun dogs, I'm not sure. And I used to get on quite well with him. I never told him too much about my bird watching hobby. I didn't want it to be any sort of source of friction. Like I said, I liked him, he was a bit of a character. And then it just happened to quite casually say, we were talking about a peregrine falcon, and he said something along the lines of, he must have been up with some of his cronies, something along the lines of, I told him to shoot the bastard. And that was it then. Any sort of little friendship sort of over with. That was that. But just, I don't know, just a few years before he died, these sort of carvings appeared up here, and I think there's some sort of, he wanted to make his mark on his moor and stuff like that. I think some of the references are to his dogs. There's people's names, I don't know whether they were some of his cronies and stuff. Maybe his wife's name might be up here as well, I'm not sure. But interesting though. I don't quite like it. I don't think there's any need in this day and age to sort of deface the geology of the landscape and stuff. Once upon a time, when there weren't much entertainment, you want to make your mark in uncertain world. I don't mind looking at that. I quite like looking at old carvings on rocks, but these, I think they spoil it up here. It's just starting to snow now as well. I've mentioned in a couple of videos about a time where I got my car vandalised on a grouse moor. When I say vandalised, I got my tyres slashed. And this was the moor in question when it was still being shot. And what happened was, I'd pretty much done the walk I'm doing now, and I finished. I don't know, I got back late, and it was dark by the time I got back to the car. There were still a few cars there. And I had an RSPB sticker in my car. And anyway, I had my tyres slashed. No other tyres were slashed there, so I can just assume it were one of the grouse moor managers up here. I don't think it was the gamekeeper who I knew. He weren't that sort of bloke. Well, I don't know. I didn't think it was his style, but he did have some cronies up here. And they were proper weirdos. They looked like something out of Deliverance. I wouldn't have put it past one of them to do it anyway. I've not really said where I'm walking today. I'm doing something called the Reservoir circuit. And it's a circular route. You can start from a couple of locations. I've started from Whitehouse near Blackstone. And it's a route that goes round Whitehome, Warland and Light Hazel's Reses. It's quite a level route really, easy walk, bit slippy and snow I suppose today, but it's a walk I've done quite a bit. I used to come up here with Lee and stuff, and I'd walked a little bit of it in the summer with a mate, Budgie and that, so yes, it's summer I come a lot. I like it. I'm looking south now and I'm going to show you in a minute. Looking south from here, all you can see, a few pylons intruding the landscape, but in terms of a moorland view, sort of in my neck of the woods, this is one of my favourites. It's a right expanse. Just across this moor here, there's a feature on the map called Two Lads. They fascinated me, these two lads. So I was, I don't know, a while ago, maybe 15 years ago, I once jumped over at Moor to see what they were, and they were, like I said, they were these two kerns perched on a rocker piece. Anyway, when I got home, I just checked on an old map, I think one I found from 1847 on the internet, and they were marked then, so they're obviously a feature of some age. This is an interesting little cot here. We've been coming here for years. Every time I come this way I always have to pop in. I think it's probably an old shepherd's keeper's shelter. Yeah, the big table's still in, it's like an altar. Look at this here, it's even got its own fireplace. Imagine a winter's night here in a blizzard. The snow raging against the windows and the walls. Supping illegal like home brew made in a local hush shop. What a great night that'd be. Okay, so I've reached Warland Res and I'm walking now on Pennines Way south back towards Whitehouse. Just like the other reses, although strangely Within's Clough res in Cragvale didn't look to have any ice on it. Maybe it's a sheltered valley, I'm not sure. Anyway, this one's got plenty of ice, looks rock solid again. And it reminds me of, again, another hour walks with my lads. Me and Lee, him and his dog Castrol, we'd set off to do Studley Pike from Milner, and this was the way we often used to take. And we'd come up like this, day like this, so cold, our water bottles froze. We nipped in Whitehouse for a whiskey all in. I think we did. We certainly did on one of our cold walks. Anyway, coming to Studley Pike, and this was frozen solid. Because we were lads, we clambered over at water, went to the water's edge, trying to smash ice and mess about and stuff. And as we were breaking it, we were getting like big rocks. And the ice were making these, we were just behaving really odd. We're making all these weird noises. And like one smash and these massive cracks would just run for yards, tens of yards along, parallel to banking. Here, just behind me, you can see Warland Res, and there's a relic at Second World War underwater in here. And I've only ever seen it once. I don't know whether they were doing some work on it, and the water level dropped at a right hot summer. And it's an old canal barge, sunken now, and coming off it like a spider's web was all these cables. And it appeared in local paper, in Rochdale Observer. And what it were put on the water's surface during the war to stop, what were they called? Them like boat planes, them planes that can land on water, to stop Germans landing on water should there ever be an invasion. And it'll still be here now, underwater. Right folks, well I'm back at Blackstone Edge Res. I've just got a short stroll back to A57 and Carney at Whitehouse and then that's me done. There's a definite feel in the air that this weather's on turn. That wind's changed direction a bit and it's not as cold as it were earlier, but I think there's a thaw forecast over the next few days. It's going to get milder and wetter, so back to that crappy weather that's no good to man and a beast, is it really? So anyway, I'm gonna wind things up there. So thanks for watching. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you next time.